Alright, this video is about editing your writing for journalism style based on the AP Style Guide. And we're going to specifically talk about how we handle dates, ages, times, and numbers that aren't included in dates, ages, and times. First, let's check your writing for any days or dates that you listed. You might be used to writing a date like this, December 5th, 2018. What we do is we always eliminate these letters right here. We always want to save characters in journalism, so we eliminate those letters. And if the name of the month is more than 5 letters long, we then come through and abbreviate it like you might be used to. If the month is the name of the month is 5 letters or less, then you can spell it out like that. If you are in the current year that you are writing in, so it's 2018 and you're writing about a date in 2018, you can also eliminate referencing the year. So check through your writing for any dates and make sure they appear like this. Now let's talk about how times should appear. You might see something like this. Remember, we want to eliminate characters a lot of times in journalism, so what we're looking at is the game starts at 8 o'clock p.m. tonight. What we want to do, because there's zeros there, we can just knock that out, and whenever we do a.m. or p.m., we do include the period between the p and the period after the m. In this particular sentence, we also can get rid of this word tonight, because when we say something's at p.m., then we know it's that night. Now, we do add the colon and the rest of the time here, the minutes, when it's not a straight up 2 o'clock or straight up 8 o'clock p.m. We do 2:30 or whatever time you would need to put there. That's how it should appear. The only two exceptions to this rule are these two times, 12 p.m. and 12 a.m. So 12 p.m. we always refer to as noon. 12 a.m. you can always say midnight instead, and you should. So go back and review your writing and make sure if you have any times listed that they appear how they should here. Now let's take a look at ages. When it comes to talking about ages, we always want to use the numeral instead of the word. So instead of spelling out 17 for an age, we would put the numeral 17. There's also some times where you might be using a term like 20-year-old or 16-year-old as a descriptive word, as an adjective describing someone, like in this sentence here. Whenever you say 20-year-old, not years old, year-old, you use these dashes in between those words, the hyphens in between those words. If you're having trouble figuring out when do you do it this way and when do you do it this way, the trick usually is, are you using an S on years or not? And that's a little trick to help you notice that. The last thing you need to know is if you're using an age to describe the age of someone behind their name and you're just saying the age like that, this is how it appeared. Don't forget to use commas. Senior Jerry Jock, 18, signed with the Atlanta Braves. Make sure, however you used ages in your writing, if you used it, that you need to go through and check and make sure it's the right way. Finally, let's talk about all other numbers. If we're not talking about dates, we're not talking about times, and we're not talking about ages, there's a simple rule to follow. The rule for other numbers, like the amounts of something, things like that, is simply this: spell out numbers 1 through 10. So I'm going to correct my sentence here. We would spell out the number 1 and we would spell out the number 10 and anything in between those two. And then when it's higher than 10, use numerals for any number greater than 11 and greater. So I'm going to change this to numerals, right? So when we have a number higher than 10, we use numbers, right? 100,000, okay? Things like that. Go through and look through your writing and see if you need to fix any numbers according to this rule. And that's it for this portion of the style guide.